I've been creating a relationship for a long, long time. And what's been on my crawl is that I was in a very terrible relationship that really traumatized me. And ever since then, I keep creating. When I do create, it's terrible. It's the same thing. And so the trauma keeps coming, but very,
So
very...
you're making a really good supporting case for what we were talking about earlier. And we're just going to interrupt briefly, and then we want to hear from you. A belief is a thought that you continue to think. And a belief is a vibration. So you have a desire of a wonderful new relationship, and you have a belief that it's unlikely, or that it's too hard, or that you can't trust it. And so as long as you keep regurgitating that belief, so why would you do that? Because it's active. Well, why don't you stop it? Because law of attraction won't let you. Well, why won't law of attraction help you or let you let go of something that you don't want? Because it's active in your vibration. Well, how do you stop it from being active in your vibration? By making something else more active. What we're talking about is deciding, and it's such a simple thing to understand. What thought do I want to be dominant around this subject? My desire or my current belief? Now go back to what we said in the first minute that we were together here today. The universe is giving you what you're thinking about, whether you want it or not. And what's dominant is what you're thinking mostly about. So doesn't it seem logical that if you could make your desire more dominant than your belief? But until you really understand creation, every time you think about what you want, it reminds you of where you are in relationship to it. It's like the stick has two ends on it, desire and where you are in relationship to it. So how are you going to make that end of the stick more dominant? Well, we've written lots of books and offered lots of processes to help you sort of move up the emotional scale. But really, trying to fix a vibration often just activates it more strong where it is. It's like this. Have you ever had a discussion with someone and you do not agree on something? So you make your point, and then they make their point, and it's not the same point. And then you make your point in a stronger way, and then they make their point in a stronger way. So you just get stronger and stronger in your opposition, because the law of attraction is supporting both of you where you stand, and you don't stand in the same place. Well, in this scenario, it's just you and you. There's the vibration of your desire and the vibration of your belief that are at odds with each other. So having that argument or that constant conversation about, well, I believe this, but I want to believe this, but I believe this, but I want to believe this, and this is what I want, but this is what I've got. Have you ever tried to uplift someone and they just dig in right where they are? Their limitations are just so well practiced that you just cannot talk them out of their funk. The more you try, the more enlivened they become in their defensiveness about your wrongness about their success. Well, you're doing the same thing to yourself. It's just you and you. And so it's got to be okay, because it's where you are. You can't make that wrong. It's logical, it's all right, it's just not what you want. So here's the solution. Rather than trying to change your belief, just make your desire more dominant, which means catch yourself in a non-resistant moment and daydream a little. Watch a movie to the point that things are really going well. Remember the feeling of well, and when the music starts to turn and you know it's going to go south, leave. Hollywood likes to take you up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Get out ahead of it is what we call that. Get out ahead of it. So that's the theory. How are you going to do that?
Okay. So one question about this. I was in a very, very, very high energy place at one point, because it's been going on for a long time. Like really peak performance. So I said, okay, I guess I'll attract somebody. I'm not thinking about the topic. And when I did attract, it was 10 times worse than it was before. I'm just wondering, how is it possible to have such high energy?
Well, here's what we're wondering. How could you possibly be inspired to tell that story after what we just said to you? After we just said to you, make what you want dominant, you did the opposite.
Yeah.
You did what humans often do. You just dug in to explain why that won't work. So you just did the opposite of getting out ahead of it. You just focused right back on how it isn't working, activated that within you, didn't move at all, but your desire did get stronger, which means the contradiction in you got stronger. So it does feel like it got worse, because vibrationally speaking, the desire is stronger and the opposing belief is stronger. So what are you going to do about it?
Put more of my focus on daydreaming.
That's a really good idea.